everybody. I'm back for another review of Real Housewives of Potomac. If you're watching this, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. All right, here we go. Real Housewives of Potomac, Shady Water, Season 9, Episode 6. I did not watch Episode 5, and I just can't. I'm just giving it the best that I got. Shout out to Anita Baker. Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm off today because of Veterans Day. Some teachers work. They have parent-teacher conferences, but I don't teach those grades. And I got my eyes checked and then stopped by TJ Maxx. And then I found like a tree topper. I'm really excited. I love Christmas. Anyway, y'all don't care about that. So we're back and they're still interrogating Karen about her drinking and any possible problems. This is old news. If she needs help, go to her in private. If you go to her in private, she's still gonna lie. Cut it out. All right. If Karen tells her business to anybody, they ain't on this show. So Karen brings up how she's an advocate for people who are sick, and so she's the first person to say, hey, we need to go get help. And I do believe that is true for Karen. I don't think it's true for Karen when it comes to Karen herself, but I do think that's how she sees other people. So then she went into her bag and she said, well, Mia opened up a rehab facility because she had a drug and opioid addiction. Drug/opioid addiction. I said, it's possible. Okay, Stacey says, well, we can't just start throwing stuff out there, this, that, and the other, and it really hurts me to hear that. Karen is like, think about who you are talking about. This is a woman who has her boyfriend that she's living with her kids, in the same building as her husband she's still married to, telling you this information about me. I said, well, Karen, you got a point. You got a point. We can't... Look, Mia, you lack credibility, and I don't care. So Mia is not trying to help Karen or anybody else. We know that. Just like we know Giselle don't care. Like, they're all just there to harm other people. They are not good people. Reality show chicks are not. So anyway, Wendy says she feels for them, and all the stuff that's going on, but she wants to be in her birthday bubble. If that was the case, this trip was always a bad idea. Now, I will say it turned out better for Wendy than it usually does for Karen or anybody else, but that's because Wendy was just not giving people the energy. She was staying out of it. That's why, because Karen will let you know. And people like to fuck with Karen for some reason. So anyway, Ashley, when they showed you and your children getting into the car and your son was on top of it, let me explain something to you, ma'am. Okay, you parent like a white woman. And it is unbecoming, especially since you grew up around your black ass family. You have a 3 to 4 year old on the roof of a car. How the hell did he get up there? Tell him, come down. He's supposed to come down by himself? You shut a door, his finger's gonna slam in it. What the hell? How'd he get up there? Anyway, your kids need a pop. They need a pop, and so do you, across the face, for being so damn dumb. Anyway, Ashley claims she is going to mediation in June. I don't know why Stacey keeps shouting Ashley out like Ashley's divorced and all this other stuff. She's not. She's not, and we'll believe it when we see it, and she's still dependent on that man. Anyway, yeah, we don't care. All right, so Ashley claims, we don't believe. We'll believe it if we see it. So Stacey asked Ashley if her kids have met the man that she's dating. I feel like we've had these conversations for so many seasons in the past. She said absolutely not. And she said Michael and her have an agreement that if he brings a woman around, Ashley has to meet her first. I said, bullshit. Okay? First of all, if there is any such agreement, it applies to you, Ashley, and not to Michael. Okay? And my thing is, and when Michael brings another man around, then what? Because we already know he's with men too. Shut up to me. I haven't even used that since second grade, but shut up to me. Anyway, Stassi. Why do you want to call her Stassi? Jazzy. Jazzy and Kay talk about their issues and being in relationships with men with kids, so on and so forth. She said, well, he introduced them to me once they started moving toward marriage. And that was Jazzy, right? She told 3 different stories that I can keep up with on camera as they went back for it. She has told 3 different stories in front of the camera about how he had kids before her, during her, after her, but not really. And I knew she was laying it on thick when she kept saying, you know, he didn't really have anybody before me because I'm the only one. I knew she was laying it on thick, but now I see why. I already knew something was up though, because when she said she was with an NFL player, I said, first of all, Jazzy, you look like you're in your 30s. Not because you look like you're in your 30s, but because you're mature enough for me to believe that you're in your 30s. First of all, we know how athletes are anyway. Not because I've ever met any professional athletes, but I can watch these shows and tell you those are not the men to marry. So it just seems like the formula has been, for what is now inching up on 20 years, that the main chick, or the one who thinks she's the main chick, gets on a reality show like this one, and all it's designed to do is to show the other chicks he's with that she's his main, so leave him alone. And all you do is bring more women to him, because the kind of chicks that will go after somebody's man will go after somebody's man. It never fails. All right? Now, that being said, ask Emily B on Love and Hip Hop, because that's why she got on there to remind everybody she was Fabulous Girlfriend, and he wouldn't even come on camera. Then we got the girls on Basketball Wives, who once in a while they could drag somebody on there to prove they were with them. And I'm sure there's a real story, and you're not telling it. We're never going to get all of it, okay? And that is why she's reading everybody else, because she's deflecting, okay, away from the truth of her story and her business. So as far as I'm concerned, Jazzy, you fitting right in. Moving on, I love the fact that Stacey is not, and I hate to say stereotypical, but I love the fact she's not stereotypical and it's not forced. And that she's okay with it. The fact that she thinks her dancing was good and that it changed people's mind, I love the kind of just corniness of it all. Not like even like a bad corny, just like a regular chick. Not even regular, just like kind of a corny black woman. And I'm okay with that. For some reason, like I feel like everything that Wendy did when she came on the show was to lay it on thick and make sure she wasn't like the others, which is very typical, okay, of those Nigerian and Caribbean immigrants and children of immigrants, especially first generation, which Wendy is, and which we saw in those voting patterns. Hello and good morning, okay, from this past presidential election. Anyway, and whereas Stacey just seems kind of like, yeah, I am just kind of this bougie black woman, but that's bougie's the word I'm thinking about, but not like a performance of bouginess. Like that is who she is. Anyway, Giselle, you flew back up to Maryland. Your girls got awards. They were in their cap and gowns. It looked like one of them may have had to make a speech or something. And then you flew back to North Carolina. Not Puerto Rico. Not Jamaica. North Carolina? Really? Child. Okay. You're a different kind of thirsty. Now, Jazzy talks about how Ashley and Kay got into it about her scar. She was basically implying that it really wasn't there, or maybe she had just, lied about the extent of it. And Giselle was like, it's clearly on her forehead. She said, and I asked Ashley, I said, do you wear glasses? Like, what are you talking about? I said, would somebody please drag Ashley's ass? I mean, whoop her ass and whoop it good. And I said, you know what? Please do, please, because she needs it. And I personally nominate Jazzy. Anyway, Giselle didn't show these chicks not near picture of nobody's cap and gown, nobody's awards. And don't come to me with, oh, it was in the episode. No, Bravo showed us. She didn't even take out her phone and go, see? Look, we ain't see none of that. She got right into the bullshit like she was there to see it. Because she gets off on seeing other people miserable. Now, anyway, so Mia brings down the liquor for Wendy's birthday, and they're drinking. I'm going to tell you what was most alarming about this, and no, it wasn't Mia's drinking. We already know what kind of hoe she is, but are y'all still drinking straight out the bottle? See, that's why I could never get into that. That's why I got into the drinking game late, because I never understood how people could take drinks out of other people's cup and taste it. You don't get to put your mouth on nothing. And that's how I was raised. I was like, y'all are still drinking out the bottle after other people. After COVID? Y'all nasty. Don't be in your 40s with mono. Don't. Anyway, so Giselle is looking up Stacey's boyfriend, TJ, or whatever. Excuse me. Oh, this went down wrong. Okay. She's looking up, she wants to Google her boyfriend. Why? Why, Giselle? Okay, to see what he does. Her and Wendy are basically reading him asking if he's an extra. They have some stuff he did from 2016. Okay. Okay. This is my thing. Whether he's an extra or not, whether he's out in LA or not, everybody is not going to have the career of a Denzel Washington, the longevity of a Loretta Devine. That is hard to come by, period. Okay? And that's what actors do. Now, Giselle is probably looking this up to figure out how jealous she should be of her, because that's her thing anyway. Then they're asking Stacey why they are waiting to have sex before they get married, this, that, and the other. I'm like, how many times we got to go through this, and why do y'all care? Giselle's always somewhere ready to talk about somebody else's sex life because she don't have one. Anyway, so it's so typical. Giselle is laughing to humiliate her like the mean bitch that she is. But Stacey read her when she said she can laugh all she wants alone. That's right, Stacey. That's right. And that's why I like you. Because you know what? When you do what you do, you doing you. And that's okay with me. Anyway, she ate with that. So the the gang up mentality on these shows, I'm telling y'all, I can't stand it. Just like I told you, I couldn't stand it watching Mel getting beat up on the other night. Yes, I think he's gay, bisexual, whatever you want to call it. But Ashley and Giselle, you can't get, keep, or maintain a man. We've seen it through the years, darling. The most we see is you side by side with Jamal at obligatory events for your children. Okay? So, bitch, please. Now, she will not be satisfied. I'm telling you, Giselle will not be satisfied until every woman around her is as miserable as she is and gets played as hard as she did and as publicly as she did. And guess what? It ain't gonna happen. So you need to go somewhere and sit with yourself. So Ashley, you got your nerve. You married an old, rich, white, gay, racist man and had 2 babies by him on purpose and still haven't divorced him. Y'all are jokes. I hope y'all laughing at yourselves because y'all are walking, talking jokes. Anyway, so Mia comes in, shows us her joint chiropractic business. Apparently that Gordon's family is selling because as partners they can't get along. And she'll be getting some of the money, I guess, depending on what I think Gordon can prove in court. But nevertheless, she says she has 22 other locations at different places. I was like, that is a lot. But Mia be lying, so who knows? Then Giselle asked her, what's her busiest times? The weekend? And I was like, bitch, doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter I'm bringing this up. I just don't like Giselle. Fuck her. Okay. I thought that was a selfish ass move to bring them somewhere when you're just meeting the people that work there. It wasn't like they were like, oh, hi, Mia, or something like that, and don't even know you, and it was Wendy's birthday. But what do we expect of Mia? Nothing. Okay? So, Ashley, you look like a brand new streetwalker, like before the pimp gets the best of you and the dope is in your veins in that confessional. Don't wear that anymore. And you still haven't learned how to properly cover those puppies up and to wear things that work within that breast enlargement you got. Because it's really not the move. It's not. Like, how they always, like Kelly Rowland's been very open about the way she wears her, how she had a breast enhancement. But you see how it matched? Okay. Take a lesson. All right? Take a lesson. Okay, so, then we get Giselle's ass. She says that Ashley should apologize for what she said to Kay. Not apologize for the shit you didn't even hear. And she said I did. But Ashley does empty apologies all the time. So she didn't have to tell her that. But she doing what Giselle does, man, just to stir something up. Kay said Mia should apologize for accusing her man of selling drugs or being involved with something illegal, whatever she implied. Maybe, Mia, maybe not. But Mia, I guess you would know about that shit because you in the streets. But at the same time, you are just... There's a stripper who has a lot of businesses that didn't make sense to people. are you really in that position to do that? The problem is with Mia, it's hard to get her because Mia doesn't have enough shame to get embarrassed. She's too dumb to be ashamed of her fuck shit. She's too dumb to keep up with her lies. So it's a harder read because it'll just be, okay, it's a waste. So they get to Jazzy's boyfriend. Jazzy's boyfriend apparently just won the Super Bowl. Y'all, I don't watch that kind of shit, but okay. But he doesn't have a contract, and she's saying like it's stressful or whatever. But I do know enough to know this. I do know football money is inconsistent. It's not nearly as high or consistent as the NBA or Major League Baseball or anything like that. And it's more detrimental. Football is far more detrimental to the brain and the body, making it harder for you to make a living after you leave. That's why they was hating on Monique so hard, because her husband didn't have that problem, okay? Ex-husband now, don't matter. They were jealous of her. Anyway, so Giselle, and I was like, him being an athlete, I'm just, and don't get me wrong, as a black woman, I know there's slim pickings. However, Jazzy, you have an ugly, inarticulate boyfriend in the NFL of all places, and you're calling yourself a businesswoman. That is not the man you want in your arm. Just aesthetically, hearing him talk, the way he looks, I'm just kind of like, and whatever money he does have, it's not going to last long. It ain't worth it, girl. It ain't worth it. Go on somewhere with that. So Jackie is being vulgar again and says it smells like stank vajayjay. And then she goes and smells Mia's poom poom. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. And Giselle, you laughing at Stacey not getting none on the party bus or wherever it was, is funny because we know you're not getting any either. Okay. This is my thing now. On the party bus, Jackie is taking it really personal when we talk about Mia playing the game and having sex with other women and men. And Giselle's like, she can talk about all the men she screws all she wants. But what's her name? Jackie gets mad when she brings up any other woman. Okay, it is clear that Jacqueline and Mia have been screwing for years. Okay, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But is it just me? In my experience, lesbians, bisexual women, or who call themselves bisexual just because the appearance of, gayness, they'd rather, they'll have sex with men, have kids by men, but they're really lesbians. They are some of the most jealous people I've ever seen before in my life. And I noticed that through college, in the workplace, they are some of the most catty, and it always confused me. Like, if you're gay, like, why are you up in mine? Like, why are you trying to get, I don't know what it is, but Jackie is emblematic of what I've seen a lot of lesbians who claim they're bisexual but are really lesbians, how they behave. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. So they go out to dinner for Wendy's birthday. Wendy said that by 40 she has realized she's enough, and this is the first time we've really seen her celebrate, like, with the girls. I kept saying, why is this such a big deal? And then when I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, she didn't. And she said she wasn't sure how she was gonna be received, and I can totally get that. So they go around the table and say something nice about her. That was cute. Jazzy called her altruistic, and this bitch Giselle asked Ashley what it meant. I said, first of all, Giselle, for somebody who's as dumb as you call yourself reading people a lot, and you just continue to make a fool out of yourself. Why couldn't you just, let me tell you how I'm built. If I do something like that, like I don't know a word or something, I'll be sitting there listening at the table or whatever, and I will just scroll down my phone and look that fucking word up and act like I knew what it meant, because I don't like to look stupid. Okay, it doesn't happen often. But what I'm saying is I would have done that before I did that on TV. I'm not saying you should be ashamed to ask, but you should be ashamed to ask certain questions when you have the answer at your fingertips. Next, Wendy and Jazzy's calling her brilliant or whatever. You're calling her that because she has 4 degrees. I do not think Wendy is brilliant. Wendy is the same person who got on this show calling herself a new mother and got into it with Robin, Giselle, and somebody else because Ashley had brought her baby. And Monique had let her. And she was like, no, I am a new mother. And everybody kept saying to her, Wendy, we know you have a new baby, but you're not a new mother, right? Ashley is a new mother. And that's why she said, that's why I gave her the courtesy of bringing her baby. Well, you didn't let me do this. You didn't let me do that. And don't think I forgot that first episode when she wrote a quote unquote resignation letter in Microsoft Word and claimed she sent the email. That was some dumb shit. Okay. I am sorry. Anybody can jump through hoops and go to school. Her degrees are not consistent. People can get into those programs for many reasons. I'm not going to even go in, but I am not impressed. I'm just not. Wendy's probably the smartest amongst you bitches, though. So I guess she can keep that title while she's here on this show. Nevertheless, so Stacy got a few sips, right? Just a few. And said people have focused on me and my relationship, but Jazzy has a man she's about to marry, and we don't know anything about him. It was the wording for me with Jazzy. She said, yes, I do have somebody I'm willing to marry. And I was like, it was something like that makes you go, that's not what you say when somebody's your fiance. That's not how that goes. I said, here we go, though, with the bullshit. So she says, he is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then they ask her about his kids. I knew when it was like 9 different stories going around, there was already some bullshit. The kids are 3 and 1. They're young. I certainly wouldn't date a man with a 1-year-old. Okay? Or a 2-year-old for that matter. Once she gets to 3 and they're not, involved, then maybe you can consider that. But she said he is a great father. I am so tired of black women saying that about men who are not. Simply giving somebody money for your kid or your kids does not make him a good father. Not being committed to their mother does not make him a good father. Especially since these babies seem to have happened within the time of you. And you can say we weren't having sex then, this, that, and the other. At the point in which y'all are engaging and dating, why the hell is he having unprotected sex with somebody? You see what I mean? So, miss me. All right. But him having babies on her is not a surprise, especially as an athlete. The part that got me, though, was when she said his girlfriend was pregnant with the second one. I said, wait a second. This ain't even by 2 different women? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And this seems like you're the side chick that got on this show, and he goes between both of y'all as his main, but has several other chicks. But the fact that he's had 2 babies with her while she's dating you, part of being on this show, Jazzy, seems to be you as an attempt for the front, but also you holding on to him in whatever potential money or proximity you have to whatever events that you think will benefit you. But it's not worth it because it has you out here looking like a whole fool. It's one thing to be a fool and not be on TV. It's one thing to be dumb for love and not be on TV. But I'm telling you, it does not end well, and none of these women are supportive. Now, and it seems like the other chick is having babies with him to keep the relationship going. And quite frankly, they're in a relationship. At the point in which you have 2 kids with the same woman, because you have unprotected sex with her, they're in a relationship whether they call it that or not. And you know it too, Jazzy. Anyway, and I'm sure he's probably telling her something like, this is just for TV. The same thing Jamal was telling his girlfriend somewhere else while he was still banging the other chick that I think he's supposed to be engaged to now. Like, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. And I'm sure he's telling her something like, it's just for TV. And meanwhile, the other chick don't care if it is for TV or if it isn't, because she's with him in her mind. And honestly, he is with her at the point at which they have 2 kids. I said, child, Jazzy, get out while you can. Get out while you can. You'll be able to save some rent money since you live with him. Anyway, but they've been together 2 years. And it's just like, who else has been with him for 2 years? All right, so Kay said that she understands because she dated a guy in the league and he had twins or 2 women pregnant. It didn't really make sense to me, but whatever. And she said, just know that's something that comes with it. And Mia asked her, she said, what team? And Kay was like, Mia, don't start. And Mia said, no, please tell us. She said, because this story sounds familiar. I was told something about a similar guy. I want to know if it was the same guy. I said, Mia, what difference does it make? You got enough going on, okay? One man is questioning paternity of a kid that you know you did, not IVF, but one of the clear treatments with. Like, I don't know why I just in the clear treatments with. You have enough problems. Like, stop fucking with her. Mia was like the Ravens. And I was with the rest of the table when they were like, Mia, just leave it. But when she also said, Kay said, he played for Jesus at this point. I said, he's either dead or Mia hit the nail on the head. Next, Jazzy, you were sitting at that table, honey, and you were looking like you wanted to burst into tears as you sat there and you knew once it was coming out of your mouth. Yes, those bitches are mean, but they all have their own shit they can be read for. But, and it's probably because you're hurt, and rightfully so. And it's on TV now, and I'm sure you feel stupid. I'm not calling you stupid, but I'm saying I know that can be the feeling sometimes. But that pain I saw in your eyes said to me that you haven't dealt with it and you're stuffing it down because you know it's bad and you may be in love with him, right? And the energy you have put it toward maintaining the appearance of this relationship you truly want, but don't have. So you just rather it look that way. And it's not the move, because this won't end well. In fact, it'll go on for a long time of foolishness. All right. So Giselle said in the confessionals, her whack ass, Giselle said, just say your man cheated. He had 2 kids from it and you're okay with it and still want to be with him. That's fine. I said, first of all, bitch, isn't that what happened with you and Jamal the first time and the second time? Okay. And you still went to counseling and tried to maintain your marriage. Then he played you again all these years later. Wendy had to bring up, Giselle, just get that raggedy gooseneck 4-tier bottleneck bitch off my screen. Then Wendy had to remind us that she's 40 with 4 degrees. And I was like, what was she waiting for? Like, did she want everybody to scream? Girl, I have a college degree, a master's, and a PhD. Okay, and guess what? I still have to get up every morning and make a living. And honestly, so do you. That's why you stayed on this show. Anyway, the next day, Wendy is hungover. And I knew something was up when I saw them sunglasses at the breakfast table. Everybody had them on. Just messed up. You got to, can't run with the big dogs and pee like a puppy. Anyway, I'll see y'all soon enough. Everybody have a great rest of your day and have a good week.